Hello, it's me, Mr. Mustafa. Welcome to my geography class. Today, let us see what is wind. What are the characteristics and features of wind? What are the factors that cause a variation in the direction and speed of the wind? How do they affect? From the chapter In Search of the Source of the Wind, 10th Standard Geography, Unit 2nd, Kerala syllabus. What is wind? The horizontal movement of the air from a high pressure zone to low pressure zone is called wind. So in the last class we have learned a global pressure belt. Variation in the global pressure lead to the formation of wind. We know that even this room has air in it and this air moves. There are different types of movement of the air. For example, it can be vertical uprising and vertical descending, vertical ascending, vertical descending, and they are called what? Air circulation. Wind means the horizontal movement. The horizontal movement of the air from high pressure zone to low pressure zone is called wind. So there are different types of winds ranging from little breeze that may cause only the leaves to flutter that you may see in the garden. From that light breeze to cyclone. That cyclone may cause widespread damage, uprooting trees. Now let us examine what are the characteristic features of wind, or what are the peculiarities of wind. So what are the peculiarities of wind or characteristic features of wind? First one is names are given. Names are given to the wind on the basis of the direction from which they blow. For example, here it is. The wind is blowing from high pressure zone to low pressure zone, the horizontal movement of the air, that is called what? Wind. It is blowing from the direction of west. So remember, names are given on the basis of the direction from which they blow. And here this wind is blowing from west. So that wind is called a western wind. Names are given on the basis of the direction from which they blow. If it is blowing from sea, it is called a sea breeze. If it is blowing from south, it is called a southern wind. If it is blowing from desert, it is called a desert wind. So remember, names are given on the basis of the direction from which they blow. And second one, the peculiarities of source region influence the nature of the wind. What is the meaning? Simple. The peculiarities of the source region. For example, if a wind is blowing from the ocean, what is the peculiarities of that source region? Water body. Definitely that wind is carrying water moisture, water vapor in it, so it causes rainfall. So remember, a wind which is blowing from water body will carry moisture with it and it causes rainfall. At the same time, if a wind is blowing from a drier area, that meaning if a wind is blowing from land, if a wind is blowing from desert, it doesn't cause rain. That wind would be what? Drier. That is what we say, the peculiarities of source region influence the nature of the wind. What are the factors influencing the speed and direction of the wind? Let us see one by one. The first one is pressure gradient, that is pressure gradient force. The second one is Coriolis force or Ferrel law. And the third one is friction. These are the three factors that cause a variation in the speed and direction of the wind. So these are the three factors that cause a variation, a change in the speed and direction of the wind. Let us see one by one. One of the factors that causes a variation in the speed of the wind is pressure gradient. Let us see the role of pressure gradient in detail. So we know that atmospheric pressure is not uniform everywhere on Earth's surface. It varies from place to place and time to time. So changes in atmospheric pressure within a given horizontal distance is called a pressure gradient. Understood? It is given the horizontal distance. For example, distance from here to here. Suppose it is what, 5 kilometer. From here to here, 5 kilometer. So given the horizontal distance, greater the pressure difference. What is the pressure difference here? From 1080 hectopascal to 980 hectopascal. That's the pressure difference here. And here given the horizontal distance, what is the pressure difference? 1020 to 980. Where is the greater pressure difference? Here, picture A. So greater the pressure difference within or given horizontal distance, the stronger would be the wind, because the vertical pressure gradient is very high here. Pressure gradient is what is steeper here. We know that air will always blow from high pressure to low pressure. So pressure gradient is said to be steeper if that pressure difference is more. And here you know that pressure difference is more. So here pressure gradient is steeper. The result is what? Strong wind. Here the strong wind is the result. And here pressure gradient is not steep because pressure difference is not greater. So it causes what? Gentle breeze. So remember, if isobars, these lines are called what? Isobars. If isobars are closely spaced and pressure gradient is more, it causes strong wind. If isobars are widely spaced, pressure gradient is less, it causes gentle breeze. Another factor that causes a variation in the direction of the wind is Coriolis force or Ferrel law. Let us see the role of Coriolis force in determining or deciding the direction of the wind. Coriolis force or Ferrel law. Any freely moving bodies on Earth's surface or in the lower atmosphere, it can be cloud, it can be ocean water, it can be wind. So any freely moving bodies get deflected, that meaning turn, bend, get deflected to the right of its direction of the movement in the northern hemisphere. Here it is northern hemisphere and here it is the direction of any freely moving body. So it will get deflected to its right. It will turn to its right. You know that this is what a right direction. It will deflect to its right in the northern hemisphere and it will deflect to its left. Here it is in a left side, meaning this one, left. It will deflect to its left in the southern hemisphere due to a force generated by or a force generated as a result of Earth's rotation. We know that Earth is rotating on its axis. As a result of this rotation, a force is generated. That force causes the freely moving body to turn or deflect to its right in the northern hemisphere, to its left in the southern hemisphere. That meaning to the right of the direction of the freely moving body in the northern hemisphere, the left of the direction of the movement in the southern hemisphere. If the earth is stationary, not moving, there is no Coriolis force because the force is generated as a result of earth's rotation. And we know that this force is very weak at the equatorial region. The force is very strong at the polar region, poles. So as it moves from equator to pole, this Coriolis force increases or Coriolis force becomes very strong. And later, this Coriolis was a French mathematician. Later, an American scientist, Admiral Ferrel, he conducted a study on Coriolis force and he applied it to the wind and he formulated, put forward a theory. As per that theory, wind blowing in the northern hemisphere will get deflected to its right of its direction of the movement, and it will get deflected to the left of its direction of the movement in the southern hemisphere. And this theory, formulated by Admiral Ferrel, based on the direction of the wind, is known as Ferrel law. Remember, Coriolis force causes only a change in the direction of the wind. It doesn't reduce the speed of the wind. Yet another factor that causes a variation in the speed of the wind is friction. Let us see the role of friction in comparison with the varied topography of the earth in deciding or determining the speed of the wind. So the role of friction. The speed of the wind would be very high when the wind is blowing over level surface, or when the wind is blowing over ocean surface, plain, because that plain, ocean surface are level. So that level surface causes less friction. It causes less friction. So that the wind can blow with the original character. So strong wind, speed is very high because that level surface, example, plain, desert, or ocean, it causes less friction, so the wind is very strong. If the wind is blowing over difficult terrain, for example, rugged topography, ups and downs are there, or that topography with a dense forest, and here it is a rugged topography, ups and downs are the difficult terrain, and it causes greater friction. We know that when the wind is blowing, hitting the mountain, the wind has to climb up. Then the wind has to descend, again that climb up. So it causes greater friction, so the speed of the wind is reduced. So difficult terrain, the speed of the wind is reduced because it causes greater friction. And level surface, the friction is very less, the speed of the wind is very high. This is how the friction influences the speed of the wind. That's all for today. Thank you for watching me.